All right. It's Saturday night.
I know.
Do you know where your train conductor is?
Oh my God, I've been working on the layout so much.
It looks beautiful down here.
Oh God,
I love that you put those engines over there on the dock.
Yes.
I think you have things a lot more staged. I can tell that you are meticulously going through.
I test ran every locomotive on the shelves behind us. Everything. Just I know, and I fixed.
That's a lot of locomotives.
A lot of stuff. Okay, this is our jobs. Right?
Wait,
That's my job.
is it?
I guess.
Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Okay. Is the soundboard turned on?
Is it break time yet? Can we take a lunch?
Yeah.
Lunchtime.
I mean, if we're working, I might as well see.
Yeah.
Everything
Let's
should
take
be
a smoke
okay.
break.
Everything looks good.
Yeah. All right.
Union says,
Hey, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
hi, Richard.
Give us a countdown, please.
3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
And by GL Robotics, with over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock, your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com.
Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975.
Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com.
And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast.
This is the What's Neat This Week show number 261 for January 13th, 2024. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine, and I'm running late on that. It's not going to be out to Joe Fugate until Tuesday, which puts me really late on the, but I will get it done. Oh, Lord, that really trips me up to think about it. Anyway, so tonight I've got Mike Buddy over here on my side. Hey, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
I've got Joshua Barton right next to me.
What's up, everybody?
James Regier sitting right next to me in front of the rocket,
Hey, y'all.
which is really cool.
the rocket?
Couldn't wait to see that.
Yeah.
A lot to report this week on this layout. In fact, spent a lot of time ripping up the third rail around the river diorama over there. A lot of the third rail was simply glued down with contact cement, which worked and lasted for 5 years with no problems.
Wow.
Believe it. I also had some spikes here and there where I drilled out holes with a Dremel and spiked it with small HO scale or N scale spikes, I think. So that has been changed. Also, another thing I did was I replaced the batteries in the NCE system. Every single throttle, there's 5 throttles. It's something you're supposed to do like when you change your clock. And so I did it anyway. Everything's working, ran the NCE system thoroughly, reread the manual because there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to remind myself that I could do that I haven't been doing lately because I haven't been really programming any engines too much in a long time. So anyway, it's a total refresh on the NCE system. Very happy to have done that. I'm planning this area on the side in the middle of the layout. This is a diorama where we showed how to build cement through trackage on the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine, where the train is actually just running code 55 rail through the cement area as it loading and unloading. Well, now I'm working on the back side of that module over there, trying to come up with some sort of a scenery situation.
Nice.
And I got that Wathers building over there. And I put a siding, I'm running a siding track to store more cars on. And then a turnout to be able to run through that Wathers building. So I don't know what type of a business this is going to be yet. But the infrastructure with the Code 55 rail and the siding should look dynamite. And I'm probably going to do some cement work over there to create a foundation for the building. And maybe have the trackage in front and the back of the building have a cement apron, so that the rails are embedded again in the cement, and you could create all types of scenes.
I really like that look, even if it's just bare cement.
Yeah.
You know, even if you
it's
take
abandoned.
right,
you know,
right,
just having the rails there. And,
it looks
cement.
really cool down
Yes.
low and in the concrete.
Spent a lot of time working on trains down here too. What does that mean? Freight cars that don't have Katy couplers have been getting Katy couplers. Passenger cars and passenger trains have been getting tweaked and worked on, making sure everything runs perfect. And the ones that don't have Katy couplers also receive Katys this week. I primarily worked on my 1970s Amtrak consist with the 3 Athearn F40PH locomotives. Is that what those are?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, STP 40Fs.
STP40Fs. I'm
3
so glad
axles.
you're here.
Yeah.
3
Beautiful
axle units.
models with
Yeah.
rotating beacons on the front and the headlights, and then all the passenger cars behind that. The consist is not exactly right. I pulled out my consist book, and I'm going to correct and move cars around. But rock and roll, it's such a breath of fresh air. Now, 2 weeks in a row to be working full-time down here, creating, getting stuff set up so that we can build models, do videos, and create a lot more material. And you can't do that when this place is a mess. It's not functional.
That's true.
So that's my story.
Yeah, it was nice to use your desk to put my new Blue Nami.
Blue Namis.
Yeah.
Did you get all 3 of them done?
I got 2 of them done. And,
I really like that Blue Nami concept. You know,
Yeah,
you can just it'll be great for the RPM meet. Just in that you can dead rail it. You can bring a 9-volt battery or however much voltage that Blue Nami needs to bring it to life, and you have the lights and sounds. You don't have to worry about bringing a DCC system set up.
This is my first time using it ever. I've seen George use it a couple times at a few shows and was drooling over it. I finally got a couple of them. I put them in. I'm still trying to work out the bugs, trying to figure out.
We are learning. There's a learning
Yes.
curve. For example, one simple little example was this tonight that we discovered. The Tsunami 2 decoders, is that what they're called?
The original Tsunami.
The original Tsunami decoders that Athearn installed, those are all hardwired, and so what you need to do in that instance is to pull that entire decoder out and then wire yours up using the harness.
Hard
Yeah.
wire
Now on the
everything.
other 2 units, you plug and play the Tsunami into the motherboard on the engine.
Yeah, it had a, I believe, 21 pin setup.
Okay.
And the Blue Nami comes with a 21 pin setup with wires that you can cut and use. I just pulled that right off.
Now, did those Athearn locomotives have sound in them already?
They do not.
They didn't? So
They
you put
didn't.
speakers in them?
No, no sound in them at
Okay.
all.
So right now you've just got them running
And
silent.
I don't
on the
know
lab.
if I'm going to have sound in them.
Okay,
I
but they
have-
were plug and play for that.
Correct. And
That's
I can buy a speaker and then it's plug and play right through the Blue Nami. Right on the other side of the 21 pin is a 4 pin, I believe, and that's for the sound. So I can buy a Soundtrax speaker and plug that right in
Right.
if I have room in the engine. So, but I'm throwing in the GP50 Mopac Canaries, and there's not a lot of room. I could barely fit the Blue Nami into it.
There you go.
So, yeah, but it's a learning curve, and I'm really excited. I think that opens up a whole new possibility with that kind of stuff.
And tonight we are running those SDP40s. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Amtrak in the pointless arrow paint scheme, which should be running
Yeah.
in front of the camera right now. Hello, guys.
Yes.
Operating Mars light on top and headlights on this. Engines have been running fantastic for 3 days.
And they have the ground speed lights as well over
Yeah,
the
the-
trucks.
Yes,
Right,
they do.
yeah.
Mostly a mix of Wathers, passenger cars in the very early Amtrak paint scheme with the pointless arrows on each end of the car. It was just a classic era
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I did remember.
Are those? I noticed there's a few of them that look like they're from BLI. Is that right? From their Zephyr set?
Yeah, there was two.
in
We pulled
Amtrak,
one up
yeah.
now because, I mean, after all week of running, for some reason, right before the show, that one stared derailing.
Well, it's because we were
Murphy.
doing a show.
So I mean,
Murphy's Law.
no, it's very identifiable to figure out what the problem is and fix it. I asked myself last night after working all night yesterday. I said, what was the biggest thing I got done? And I came to the conclusion that it was a lot of little things that I really got done.
Well, you tend to look over them sometimes and say, I need to focus on the bigger stuff, but
Right.
those pile up.
It's puttering.
And
I
then,
mean, it's
yeah.
doing stuff that you wouldn't normally think needs done, but really needs done, but no one notices it until it's too late.
Like
Yeah.
repositioning all the LED lights around here that are on the layout and putting brand new bulbs in them and taking out some of the earlier bulbs that don't quite put out as much quality
Yeah.
light has made a huge difference in the appearance
Absolutely.
of the layout.
I'm 25% blinder.
And I don't have video of this, but a lot of the bench work on that back side of the layout where that new module is got ripped out with the narrow gauge track on it. So the little bitty 2-inch section of plywood running up the side of the wall got pulled out. All the brackets are pulled out. I'll be doing spackling and painting it blue again, patching it, fixing it. It added 2 more inches to the scene in depth where I could move the buildings around,
Very nice.
which opens up a whole. Last week we put a train station there. We had put a grain elevator there. We put the small building there. We tried all types of different scenarios.
Very nice.
I'm glad they got to see the train run around once because
Yeah, it just died.
I know, right?
It's just a derailment. Richard's on it.
It's been running
train man.
perfect
I
every
know
day.
for days. It was down. I was down here for 3 hours, and it ran
Ran
perfectly.
perfect.
Yeah.
This is not explainable.
No, it is. It's called Murphy's Law.
It's called Murphy's Law. It's called when
Yeah.
when the cameras are on, something goes wrong.
I gauged every wheel.
No.
I put new couplers on it.
Yeah.
I shimmed some of the cars so they were
Yeah.
higher and lower.
We're
Yeah.
going again.
Okay, here it goes.
All right.
There it is. All right.
It's got to be the layout. There's got to be something on the layout. Something's coming loose. A rail joiner's coming loose.
Well, my Mopaks were dying over there earlier, remember? Losing power.
It's nowhere near as bad as it has been though. It's
I spent 2 hours in a
Yeah,
turnout trying to
yeah.
figure out where the dead spot was, and it only happens on the Rapido Amtrak right here. I was pointing at the Rapido.
I know.
I mean,
but
Get that solder.
my Rapido RDCs are running over it just fine.
Okay, I got an ink pen now.
There you go.
Can't hurt nobody with an ink pen.
use this just to race.
Thank
Yeah.
Okay. So
You're about to get erased.
yeah,
is what-
we should redo that part of track. There's nothing really.
That
on
whole
it.
module's got to go.
Yeah.
All right.
All of it.
All right. Let's,
There was supposed to be a bridge there with a trestle on one end and a creek.
so are you saying
Yeah.
that there's going to be a bonfire tonight?
It's 19 degrees out.
Well, fire's hotter
14.
than what?
Oh no, I'm not burning the module. There's got to be value in the track and the turnouts.
Sure.
There is.
Yeah.
Viking
Yeah, I wouldn't
burials much cooler.
I mean, you've got a box of turnouts at home, right?
No.
Everybody's got a box of turnouts where you can just go to it and pick out whatever from
No.
previous
no,
layouts.
Ken.
No.
Only the
No.
Patterson studio has that.
Okay, this show's going nowhere
What?
quickly.
Yes.
I got turnouts at home. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
want to give a shout out to Woody. Woody, you made Woody and Flower. Flower made the pretty cup that's around here. Anyway, he's the one that made the metal.
Stands.
Well, he made the stands, but he originally started selling these things as products on eBay, and he still does, so that you can put your NCE and your Digitrack stuff in them. And the stand for the NCE system is really cool. Well, he also sent, and I found during cleaning down here that I didn't know I had, a stand for the UWT100.
Nice.
Yeah.
But he put a base on it.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
So I think what I'm going to do is find a circular cut piece of granite or onyx
Okay.
or stone
Okay.
Yeah.
and make a heavy base for it. And I want to put a stop in it right about here, and I don't think I'm going to weld it. I'm just going to build something, and so that the throttle doesn't go all the way down into it.
Okay.
Because sometimes if it goes all the way down,
It sticks.
yeah. So I'm thinking if I put a stop. But I mean, Woody, honest to God, this is a viable product for a guy's layout. I mean, for example, the layout we saw in Chicago where, the guy's got his little computer and all that stuff set
Oh
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you got the throttle, secondary throttle, it could be right there in the stand.
Yeah.
I think this is a viable, possible product,
Yep.
Woody. So I wanted to say that
Yeah.
because I thought about that yesterday.
Mike,
And I think the standard
calling
issue
you
is
out.
mountable to the side of the layout as well. It's got those, it has those screw holes, but these are just for display on your desk, I think, the way
Yeah.
they were set.
Right.
Yeah.
it's just the original product that he added onto,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is a great
Hey,
product.
you got news about these boxcars?
I do. You want me to talk about them?
Yeah.
ValueTrainsUSA.com.
And he's starting to make
Our friend Derek there.
Yes.
He owns Samson RC and Hobby,
Yes.
and he was making our cars.
Yes.
And now he has, I am assuming, new extruders.
We sold 800
cars. Yes, he has. So these are higher quality versions, and they're more accurate colors. And he just got officially licensed by the Union Pacific Railroad that he can use all of these different cars. And we have a set right over there
Yeah.
if you want to move to.
Which used to be the only set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this set will be for sale here soon. He's starting to take orders, and he'll be at the St. Charles Model Railroad show the end of this month, I believe, the 28th and 29th. And he will be taking orders for these for early February dispersal. And these are actually amazing cars. The 8-car set's just really cool. It has all the heritage units, and it's really just a brilliant set. And his new stuff is the higher quality printing and more accurate colors. He added spring tension on the couplers for better centering, improved packaging with foam for a higher quality experience, and then they're still KD equipped with the metal wheels.
So he's making these are quality cars.
These are awesome, and
I can't wait to see the new paint scheme he comes up with.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're going to discuss a new What's Neat This Week boxcar, just like all these here on the table, and we will be showing you designs.
This
here.
was, I think, an all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that,
Yeah.
That was the OG.
That was my
That was the original.
It was the original.
and then
That's the one that Jeff Myers painted.
No.
And weathered.
no,
You did it.
no,
Who did it?
I'm gonna.
I didn't do it.
I'm gonna be embarrassed right now.
Okay,
it was
sorry.
done for us.
Add
by-
it. Add it.
I'm not gonna. I'm not
Is
gonna.
it
add
Jeff Myers?
I thought it was Jeff Myers.
Well,
He's gonna call me this week and chew me out.
yeah, he sure
He
is.
will. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, it's beautiful.
Ouch. But yeah, go to ValueTrainsUSA.com or check out him out at the St. Charles Model Railroad show.
Now you're gonna drive me crazy.
You know, we'll say
Who did
Jeff
that?
Myers.
No,
you all
it
can
wasn't
correct
Jeff
us
Myers.
in the comments.
This guy's
we know
really
you will.
good.
Wait, and Jeff Myers isn't really good.
Let's just stop. You're
just
burying
digging
me.
a hole. Digging a hole.
Yeah.
All right, during the time of working on the layout, I got prematurely pulled some of the third rail out and didn't realize that it was connected to the outside rail, and oops, ripped a couple spikes on the microengineering track and ripped the outside rail,
Uh-oh.
which I had to fix last night, which took an hour, because the trains would not run through that after it was bent and messed up. And so what I did was I cut with the Dremel the section, and which relieved some pressure. She started to straighten up right away after that. Put a new rail joiner down and wanted to solder it into place along with the wire connectors. And you know what? This thing from Milwaukee that we got at the Home Depot is the go-to tool. I mean, it's portable, it's easy, it works. Here.
I have
Boy.
PTSD
first it was
over here.
pencils, now it's solder.
Yeah. Now you'll get a solder iron
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
eye.
Poke you in the eye with a soldering iron,
This
boy.
is what it
Yeah.
looks like in the package. It doesn't come with a battery.
There you go.
You can get the smaller batteries to put in it, the rechargeable ones, but I like just a step up battery, and that's because it's got the flat part on it. So when you're working on stuff, you can stand it up on end like that.
Wonder if
How
DeWalt
do you
has
charge
anything
it?
like that.
Does it come with a charger?
The batteries charge with the charger over there. Hold on, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll demonstrate
We'll
that
demonstrate it later.
No, it's
It's
really
on
simple.
B-roll. I mean,
No, it's not that simple.
No, I'm just messing up here.
he's
See?
just taking
Oh,
out the
there you
battery.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
Oh,
just
that's probably the safest thing you can
plug
do with
that
that
in.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't give it back.
You can also bend it, but I don't see any purpose in doing this to it.
Why? I mean,
Well,
you
if it's a better working angle,
yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, if you're, those helping hands that I have, you might be able to have to. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
So check it out at your
You
hardware
could
store.
brand yourself on the wrist.
Yeah. Never bring this onto the show ever again. I love it, but I don't want it
Aren't
near
you
me.
glad this isn't the knife show?
Yeah.
All
Well,
about knives.
welcome to the gun show.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
How many ways can...
Yeah.
this will be like South Park, only it'll be
Faces
Joshua
of-
instead of
yeah.
Kenny.
Why don't we let Mike talk? Because he's always got something interesting to talk about.
Okay.
Well, it's just like just about everything else is 3D printing. Again, this week for me, we haven't been talking about any of our Bernard Helen stuff lately from mini prints, and I think this might have been the December monthly thing. But he's got some yard gnomes and some Christmas deer, like that people make out of logs and branches and stuff. And
And speaking of logs, look what else we got.
yeah. the outhouse theme. He's got like a modern porta potty, and it's pretty detailed inside. I mean, for those who
It has
want
it
to
has
paint
the-
it and everything. But and then he's got a guy with his doing his business with his pants around his ankles. And so anyway, continuing with the same theme. There's included in this is a wooden kit for an outhouse from
ITLA.
yeah, imagine that laser
Nice.
art, another Canadian company, and they're the
Huh?
ones that did my auto frame load that I brought, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
As a matter of fact, he has an offering with ITLA and his mini prints guy sitting on the John, and Iowa scaled engineering for sound effects for the whole thing. So
Right,
that-
I was going to bring that up, but you did it for me. So
Nice.
anyway, moving on, this GMC Suburban from like 68 to 72. This is from Dana Stratton, a guy that comes to the St. Louis RPM every year, who's been 3D printing stuff for a long time, but finally he's doing some stuff that I'm really down my alley, the vehicles and maintenance away stuff, and his prints. I think he's using the Saturn Elegoo, which Barry
It's a
Benoit
nice
is
printer.
using.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the prints are just coming out amazingly smooth. So I painted this one for Missouri Pacific, and I did the windows with clear styrene on the inside, and then I did my Scotch tape windshield. But this model included axles and 3D printed wheels. That the thing rolls really well.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's neat.
Cool.
So then these other two vehicles are from a guy named Mike Humbert up in the Seattle area, I believe, Washington. And he makes a lot of older vehicles like 40s, 30s, and a bunch of other stuff. So you can see his website, Custom Model Depot. But the two cars that I got, and Greg Dixon ordered these same two because we're kind of like in the same era. But this first one is a 64 Dodge 330. No, it's a 63 actually. Reason I was thinking 64 is because the Jan and Dean song with the red hot, or brand new shiny red super stock Dodge, little old lady in Pasadena and everything. Anyway, I wanted to do that car, but this is a 63, and the one the song was about is 64. So. Then this is a 71 Chrysler 300, and just to show you how detailed these 3D castings are getting nowadays, the steering wheels are really scale inside, and then all of the underframe detail is separate. Separate axles, springs, even the tie rod
Wow.
is completely freestanding. Motor, transmission, it's just amazing.
If it's
Just because they can.
If it's supported
Yeah.
in 3D,
Yeah.
it'll
Just because
print.
they
can.
And that's a neat thing about it. You're not limited to, what can you get a clamshell around.
yeah,
That's
right.
Cool.
Well,
Wow. That's cool.
It just goes to show you I mean, 3D printing is just going by leaps and bounds. The nice thing about these kits from Mike Humbert is they include wheels and tires, which a lot of the 3D printed vehicles don't. And his are pretty cheap too. These were $9.99 a piece. So, and they're excellent 3D prints. I mean, really sharp and clear. So, anyway, I'll be ordering more stuff from him. I hope he gets more into the 70s. That's what my era is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, I mean, the advantage of a little bit older stuff, it's still around in the 70s.
Oh, yeah,
too.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can't really load your auto racks as new deliveries, but
Yeah.
you can certainly have them around.
You know, as a kid who grew up on Matchbox cars, I tried to get all the American ones I could, and ever since then, I've just tried to collect all the American HO vehicles.
Do you
that I
have
could.
the early 1965 or 67 fleet of Matchbox cars?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
got all
God,
the
I would
ones I
love
had
to
when I was a kid.
I want to just see them.
Yeah, sure.
The last set I saw on eBay went, and that was 10 years ago, went around 2007. I saw a set go for $600.
Well, I don't have the whole complete set. I just have the ones that I liked and
Okay.
that I bought. But I still have all the ones I ever had.
It's on my bucket list of something to get before I go away.
Yeah.
Is the original set that I had when I was 6 years old. That my
Yeah.
mom had given me one like every week, and it
Yeah.
was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Matchbox, England. I mean, it just
Yeah.
correlated because I was
Yeah.
born there, and that's why she did this.
Lesney Company.
Right.
Very cool.
So long ago.
Yep.
So, are those some Broadway Limited engines right there?
Yes, and I shot those outside Monday before all the snow came. We've had multiple snowstorms, and now it's like I don't know, 1 degrees or some nonsense going on tonight for the
Yeah,
next week.
it's cold.
So it's a good time to stay inside. These are Broadway Limited GP30s on the table, and I received them because I need to feature them on the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist magazine and talk about all the all the things it does, all the details it does,
Yeah.
and show an expose of them running. But for tonight, I just wanted to share with you some of the photographs that I shot of these. And I did run these on layout too. I ran the UP and checked out the beacon to see how bright the beacon was. And it turned out to be decent. It was great. The sound system is good. I like the way they sound, the way they idle up and throttle up.
Yeah.
They're diesel sound systems. The Paragon 4 sound system, the diesels are just absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because I don't have to say it. It is what it is.
I mean,
I liked it.
Look at all that detail in the trucks. I mean, look at all the detail everywhere on it.
Yeah.
That high hood is so cool.
Yeah.
The SD40-2 that I put a decoder in, I put a Soundtrax decoder in it. And I don't know if it was an Economy or a Tsunami. I don't remember. It was plug and play, and I had to make a video for Model Railroad Hobbyist on how to install that decoder. Well, that SD45, no, it's an SD40-2. That SD40, anyway, ran perfect and at the same speed of all the Athearn SD40s that I have down here, 45s that I have down here.
So that makes it easy to contact.
It was so
Yeah.
easy to consist that I just put them together. They were all set for number 3, and whoop, off they went. And I was very pleased with that matchup right away.
Well, I got to say these 30s are among my favorite locomotives, just because they're so distinctive with that humpback, with the sort of with that cab that's sort of rounded. This was one of the. I think this was one time where EMD brought in the GM automotive design experts.
So was that
into-
just for aesthetics, or did that serve a purpose?
I think parts of it was aesthetics, but I think they needed a taller cab for some of the electronics and the equipment as they were adding turbochargers and trying to get as much out of those 567 prime movers as they possibly could. It was followed. I think it was called the 30 because at some point, GE, and it was in direct competition with GE at this point. And when they came out with the GP20, it was GP20 with 2,000 horsepower. So it was sort of a similar numbering scheme to GE, where you have so and so many hundred horsepower. That would be the name of your locomotive. This one was marketing. Well, it didn't have 3,000 horsepower, but it had 30 improvements since the GP20, and so you
okay.
spot them. And so it was a That was a different. It was a different numbering scheme, and it was a.
30's more than 20, so let's
Yeah,
put it on.
hey, that's right.
It did have a nice little horsepower boost too over the 20, but
You want to see them up close? Let me show you pictures of them
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather for a few minutes this week. I got the UP number 847. Just check it out. Feast it. Look at it.
It's amazing.
Would you look at it? Would
I know,
you just
right?
Look
I
at
just-
it.
I know,
look
right?
at it.
I did not shoot these on top. I also have the Southern. And that's 2585 with the white stripe and the gold lettering.
Yeah.
Those high hood units are always so
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
distinctive.
so neat. Yeah.
So yeah, more eye candy. That's check out. I guess Spring Creek model trains, your go-to source for model trains. We love them.
Yeah.
Just
They are in McPherson this weekend. McPherson, Kansas.
are they?
Yeah.
They sure travel around a lot to get around the country.
They're going to be all the way in Amherst here at the end of the month, as will I be. So that'll be neat.
Very
So
nice.
I'm looking forward to meeting folks.
If
out at-
if you see James Regier there, make sure and stop and shake his hand.
Yeah, and I don't have any of the hats. I think Denny will be carrying those, but
Denny's going to that show. He
Yeah, Denny
invited
will be
me
at
to
the
stay
show.
in his hotel, but I'm not going to go
yeah.
because you're going. So shoot video for us so we can share the video on the show.
You're our
of what's going on.
roving correspondent.
I'll see what I get assigned to do. I'm officially there with Model Road Hobbyists, so
Okay. So it's a job for you.
yeah.
So you're working.
Yeah, yeah. Those of you that happen to be there, if you want to go and order models or whatever, I'll have whatever people order along with me. I don't plan on packing a lot of extra, but
Okay.
yeah,
Sweet. So speaking of models,
yeah. Well,
what's the rocket in the room all about?
so this rocket in the room is it's based off of a Saturn V.
Okay.
My daughter one day, my youngest daughter, Annalisa, was wanting me to design something with her on Blender. And she was like, Dad, why don't we design a rocket ship? Because we had a Lego Saturn V that she really liked.
Nice.
And so I was like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do there.
That's cool.
And
Yeah, sure is.
so then I did it for a while. She was sitting with me, and then she wasn't, and then I forgot about it. And then she was like, hey, Dad, what about the rocket? So we got back on the rocket.
As
and
I recall,
we
I
did it for a
called
while.
you multiple times
Yeah.
through the week.
Yeah.
And I would always say, hey, James, how you doing on the rocket? James.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me
yeah.
check. Hold on.
So these pieces in the front are all
So these are all pieces
disassembled?
of this is the rocket disassembled. I designed it as close to the Saturn V as I could. You have the first stage here with its big five rockets on the bottom. Then the second stage, and then the little O-ring transition between the stages. But it has the 5 rockets on the bottom. I think they were J5s or something like that. And then the third stage, that would take it through the transorbit and onward to the moon. And then when that was jettisoned, you'd have the lunar and command modules that would couple together like this
Oh my
for the
gosh,
trip to the room.
James.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
You are an overachiever.
And it would just fly onto the room with that, or fly onto the moon. Rather,
I want
with that
one.
service module.
I want a rocket.
Hold on,
And-
hold on. I
yeah,
want
a
okay,
rocket.
so if this was actual
And-
HO scale, how big would it be? Like 9
So
foot?
if this was
9?
actual HO scale, it would be 4 times the size of this rocket, roughly
okay,
speaking.
so 4 feet,
So-
4 feet high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were a good 370, 380 feet tall. So it would be a.
So it would
a
be
huge-
like it would be
right.
big around.
And
Yeah.
they didn't, none of that was hauled on
Call
trains.
James Regier to start your orders.
So,
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
Think
well,
about that. How
that-
big?
The
Oh,
thing
that's
is,
cool.
I don't know
He could print it.
that my machine would have the diameter, or you have the width to do the diameter of one of these rockets. And 5 inches, I already calculated that. Like, what if I printed it the size of our What's Neat characters? This is the first stage. The rockets are a separate, or the rocket motors are a separate part. I calculated that at 5 inches, that would have been perhaps 50% larger than this. So we'd still be about a third of the size of what it would be in HO scale.
There you
And
go.
just to give you an idea, the Lego rocket, which stands a good 2.5 feet tall, claims that it's 1/200th scale.
Okay.
So even that's
Okay.
so you're talking a pretty darn huge rocket there that going to the moon. And I just remember when they had it, they had the Apollo 11 command module and some of the other artifacts from that original mission to the moon in 1969. They had it at the Science Center here in St. Louis. And I went and I toured it, and my then 2-year-old daughter that I had with me thought it was pretty boring. But they had, toward the entrance of that display, a full diameter mock-up of that first stage.
Oh, very cool.
And it was just absolutely dwarfing. It was the size of a huge room. Like, there's no way you would fit this on a rail car.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but on a HO layout, if you had tall ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I see it already. And the train coming in.
Well, the problem is you don't have rail lines close enough to Cape Canaveral, where the launch pad would
No,
have
no,
been.
it's not- it's
But
not.
on
It'd be
my
in a fun-
layout,
it would
it
be in
could
a-
be.
It would be in a
Correct.
it would be in a fantasy world. What
Right.
if?
Right.
But you would have to suspend all train operations,
Look,
for
look,
several
a lot of
hours on
people
either
model
side.
that way.
James, there's something you don't know about me. My whole world's a fantasy world.
That's right.
So that works
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, right.
That's why Menards made a rocket for a gentleman like him.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Right?
right. It's-
Although I saw them claiming that one to be HO scale, and I was like,
Okay.
yeah, no, that's not HO scale at all.
All right, going around the table, have we covered everything that we want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
I do want to end James's segment by saying if you are interested in a 3D printer, and we have sold a lot of 3D printers, so I want to hear feedback from the folks that have bought them. I want to see stuff that you guys have made with them, because these printers that we're getting from GNL Robotics, USA.com are absolutely amazing. The one that James, actually the first couple that you started out with were from Greg Summerland. The resin printer is what I'm talking about, that first one you got. Absolutely amazing. If you want to print rockets, you want to design things. I went to Micromark. Micromark? Yeah. No, Micro Center.
Micro Center, yes.
The computer store here in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Because the laptop that we use for using Decoder Pro with the NCE system, the keyboard quit working. So I ordered a new keyboard and a couple different parts for it where I'm going to replace it. But they had 3D printers there in the store. And between all the things that were printed, which were kind of cool, it was just it wasn't well lit. There wasn't a salesman. There wasn't somebody to really, in my opinion, explain it to you. But I mean, you could look at stuff, right? But it was kind of dusty. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm just making an observation.
That place is really cool, though.
I think
you
it's
can get
better.
Raspberry Pis and all kinds of different electronic stuff.
amazing.
Oh yeah, I got a ton of Arduino stuff and other stuff when I was
Yeah,
first
yeah.
getting.
It's like become the
getting
old Radio
started out,
Shack.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it
Kind of
has
like
the-
almost a Radio Shack,
Yeah.
right?
I wish they had more
For
30
computers.
AWG stuff, but I
Right,
think
right.
22 or 23 is about as low, or 24 maybe is about as low as they go with their gauge.
But
Right.
still, that's
So-
that's the only place even close to
Yeah.
Radio
Don't
Shack
touch
these
that
days.
wire. All right, rock and roll. So we've covered everything going around the table.
Yes.
I got distracted with the talking about the 3D printers. GNO Robotics, USA.com, Greg Summerlin.
right.
That's the go-to source.
Oh yeah.
Best hobby in the world with some of the best people in it sitting all around me.
Yeah,
We are going to take. Well, we're running trains with. I'm not
right there.
Yes, NCE system to run some trains because that's what we're doing. All the batteries are fresh. It works.
Yep.
So with that said, guys, let's go run some trains.
All right.
That was really good.
Landon threw me off. He just came from nowhere with the dog. I got thrown off. Okay,
All right.
So camera one, let it roll for 45 seconds. Last week, I turned it off too soon, so I couldn't complete the B-roll. I showed us playing with the N-scale layout. Thumbnail shot whenever you guys are ready. What are we holding up today?
I'm holding this.
All right,
I'm holding a rocket.
GP30. Ready, set, and... Okay, we have thumbnail.
Excellent.
It was nice. We didn't talk about your RDC running on the layout on that field, did we?
Bring it next week.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
It did run. I'll show it running by.
Yeah. You need to get B-roll of all of Mike's stuff.
Okay.
Especially the underneath.
I can't wait to see these boxcars and what paint scheme he comes up with
I
next.
know. I'm pretty
This is
excited.
exciting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I almost poked you with a soldering iron.
That's all right. First you tried to poke me with the pencil, and then a soldering iron.
Right.
How much hazard pay do you have?
Okay.
Get awarded more zeros in your settlement.
Okay, sound is gonna go now. And we have sound.